So this week, super excited. Last week we were not on because we had our national training event, Millionaire Boot Camp. That's where my wife and I got recognized for hitting International Marketing Director. Again, appreciate the love to everybody that was on here with that. But the other boss lady that was absolutely just high level of recognition. This young lady has made over $1 million with World Ventures. So a 7-figure earner, just one of the most humble people you're ever going to meet, insane ball of energy. Not only is she one of the top female trainers and income earners, just straight up across the board, one of the top trainers and income earners in all of World Ventures. I got to know Melanie over the last several years. She served, I believe it was in the United States Air Force. Got to know her on different vacations we've gotten to take, has built a massive business literally all across the world. Very, very excited we get to spend a few minutes with her. Our newest $1 million earner, National Marketing Director, Miss Melanie Levitz. Melanie, did you make the call?
Yes. What's up, everybody? Hello, David. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to be here with you guys today.
Melanie, welcome. I'm so happy to have you as well. Congrats again on being World Ventures' newest $1 million earner. For those that maybe haven't heard your story, would you mind kind of just taking us back and run us through over the last handful of years since you got started?
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations to you and Crystal. I'm super excited. I got to share the virtual stage with you. Can't wait to give you guys a big hug when we can see each other again. And, thank you everyone that's being here, that invested their time in their Saturday or wherever, time in the world it may be for you. There's over 420 of you guys on now. I'm super excited to share with my story with you. And what I would do is I would grab a pen and paper, because what David and I are going to share you is going to be iconic, okay? And I'll tell you, the shortest pencil lasts longer than the longest memory, okay? So what I would tell you is I'm originally from Miami. I kind of grew up learning what not to do. I don't know if you guys can relate. Both my parents were the troublemakers of their family, so I decided after high school I wanted to join the Air Force. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to get an education paid for by the government. And I'm so glad that I did, because 10 years ago, I was introduced to World Ventures, as many of you guys have been as well. And I love the opportunity to travel. Like I said, I joined the Air Force to travel, right? I wanted to see the world. And little did I know that this opportunity would be presented to me. And when they said get 4, pay no more, I was like, I was going to share this with people anyways. And then my friend asked me at 28 years young, while I was in the military, I was actually a student in the Air Force, learning to become a foreign language officer so I could retire after 20 years with a higher pay grade. And ironically, one of my officers shared this with me. And when he asked me how much money I wanted to make, I never heard that before. I was 28 years young, living paycheck to paycheck. I thought I had everything going for myself. And little did I know this opportunity of traveling for less, where I could make money too, just was like, I thought it was genius. And I'm like, I'm in. And little did I know, I got my fees waived in my first month. I was able to replace my entire 12-year Air Force income in only 3 years with this concept. By year 4, I actually created a 6-figure income. And by year 5, it doubled. And that's when I became an international speaker. As David mentioned, I've been flown to Cyprus and Australia and Singapore just to teach people like you and many people around the world what's available for themselves. So I'm truly blessed. This last July 15th was announced in 10 years that I was able to produce, as now what I call myself, the single millionaire, $1 million in only 10 years. And it's crazy. And you go through the journey. Life happens every day. It happens to us. But when you reach the finish line, you have that euphoria of excitement and joy and accomplishment and love and abundance. And then what happens? You move on to the next goal. Well, when you have significant achievements, and, there's been times where I even wrote books, I became an international author, traveling to 48 dream trips around the world. Our team has grown to 11,000 people in 15 countries. The list goes on. I live in this beautiful beach house. I got to show it to you guys. It's amazing. This beach condo right here, because of this concept that pays for it, you can see the beach. This is the calm before the storm. We're in South Florida right now. And my mom actually lives down the street because I was able to help her purchase her dream home with this concept. And it took a lot of ups and downs, right? But that's life. That's life. It's going to happen to us. And you just have to look back and realize, like, I made $1 million in 10 years. And I grew up on food stamps and welfare. For those that don't know, that's help from the government, right? I was raised by a single mother. And I look back and I was like, I looked at each year and I looked at all the ups and I compared it to the downs. And I realized, one, I'm just so blessed and grateful that we get to share our lives and our experience with the most amazing people in the world. I would have never known the Helgesons if it wasn't for this. We would have never met if it wasn't for, the top earners in the company going on vacation once a year. And we built such a great relationship, such a great friendship that, I call Dad, I was like, can you come on my call? He's like, yeah, can you come on my call? And we're like, of course. And we don't benefit off each other financially. And that's what I truly fell in love about this organization, this company, where I believe that, we have definitely found heaven on earth. And to know that we become a family, our friends that become family. And to tell you the truth, I'd rather hang out with all of you guys than my own blood family because we're uplifting each other. We're going through the storm with each other. We win together. We're living life together. We get to share these memories with each other. And the best part of all is we want all of you guys to succeed. See, in the military, for the first 10 years, anybody in the world, in your first 10 years in the military, it's impossible to make $1 million. There's not even a 4-star, you can't even achieve 4-star general in your first 10 years. So it's impossible. And not to mention, when you do reach 4-star general in the military, you can't go do it again. I get to work with people like Carrie and Alicia Schneider, the top female earners in the entire company. And when I called, they answered. They've been in way longer than me. They could do whatever they want. But when you make the difference and when you take the sacrifice and you put into the action, you see the results. They're bound to happen. If you quit, then you can't win. So as long as you never quit, you're going to win. It's just a matter of timing. And when I looked at the ups and downs, I realized that you're going to have ups and downs and no matter what you do. And there's been times where even as a national marketing director, where I'm thinking, do I really want to do this for the rest of my life? And when I thought to myself and I contemplated, I asked myself, well, what else would I want to do? What else really, Melanie, think about it. What else would you rather be doing? And there was not anything else that I'd rather be doing other than talking about bucket lists, holidays, going on vacations, hanging out with my top friends at our 4 times a year family reunions, at our national events, being here on weekends with you guys, sharing the condo and inspiring other people that with belief and with action and having faith that anything is possible. And for the last 10 years, I had more ups than I had downs. I had the best 10 years of my entire life in this industry, in this company. Where else would I go? Why else would I even think that all these other industries selling, cosmetics or anything like juices and lotions and candles, like I'm not passionate about that stuff. I'm passionate about going to Hawaii, going to the Great Wall of China, going to Victoria Falls or Fiji and hanging out with David and his wife, Crystal. So what I would tell you guys is it all starts with this. And it really took a lot of time for me to work with this. For those that know my family, know it took a lot of time. There was one point where I invested $10,000 in a single year to my personal development to get where I am today. So it's just a matter of showing up. They say 90% of success comes from just showing up. And I got good at just showing up. I was like, I can get that down. I'm going to just show up to everything. The team calls, the training events, the online events, the national events, the regional events, the Super Saturdays. I drove 6 hours, 8 hours by myself, 15 hours by myself just to get to the events or just to get to somebody that was going to their first event. I made the sacrifice and I look back and I realized like, wow, it was all worth it. At 38 years young, I was able to make $1 million in 10 years. Not many people could say that. And to know that we're all a part of the #1 industry in the world, travel, $8.8 trillion. Are you kidding me right now? Cut it in half and you're still #1. We're still #1. On top of that, the #1 stream of income comes to the internet. Well, we got that covered too, right? And then the #1 company in the industry, World Ventures, let's go. Let's go. And as my friend Johnny Viverito would say, Let's crush this sucker.
Well, you have such a good story with this, Melanie. Like there's a lot of people on here brand new, been in for 6 months or less, 90 days or less. So a whole bunch of people on here been in for a few hours or less right now. Is they're just kind of like, the reason we do these calls is we like people to see a bigger picture. Yeah, makes sense. Travel makes sense, making money from home, especially right now. But what I love, especially as I'm hearing your story, is just I hope everyone's understanding there's a path to make this a lot different than just this little side hustle that you do, or just this little hobby because you're bored of watching TikTok videos and you needed something else to do right now, to actually turning this into a legitimate full-time income making career. So, here's Melanie, who, went through boot camp, goes and joins the United States Air Force, and is on a great career path with that, and went and not only replaced what she was going to continue making there, but then went and doubled it and went going and crazy from there. And I had no idea, like, you think of the highest of what, it's mind-boggling to me what you just said with how the number one person in the military can't make $1 million in 10 years. And really think about what you're doing right now. Like, where is your ceiling truly at? Forget World Ventures right now. I'll say you had no ability to go and start this business. Where's your ceiling at? Because I think of as a chiropractor, if I would have started a practice, I would have a ceiling. There's only so many patients I physically can go and see. Wherever you guys, work, or wherever you did work before, all the COVID hit, like what was the best case scenario for you? Because I love how Melanie is vulnerable enough to just say, like, even if I was the top of the top of the top of the top, it wouldn't have been possible to even go do what I did, yet alone, then I'm capped out. Like most of us, we get capped out. It doesn't even matter whether you're male, female, or what your age is or anything. Like we get capped out or I talk to college students all the time, Melanie, where like they'll tell me the degree they're going for. And I kind of got to cock my head at them like, what's the long-term plan with that? Like for real, it sounds good in theory. You're going to school for, major X, Y, Z. What are you going to go do with that? How are you going to go create any kind of a career with it? Or how are you ever going to, get out of living paycheck to paycheck doing that? And most people have no clue. They have no plan. And even the ones that are all fired up, excited with what they're doing, where they're currently at now and 5 years from now isn't going to look much different. Like, it doesn't matter how much harder they work, doesn't how much they kiss butt to the boss or anything. Like, it's going to be very limited how much more they can go and climb in success. And then you have something like World Ventures, this little part-time side hustle thing, and you start realizing, oh wow, this is a lot more than just trying to make like my money back. It's a lot more than just trying to get a free membership or making a couple $100s a month. Like, I really hope people realize when they come on calls like this and you meet people like Melanie, people can turn this without any experience, staying consistent, truly into a full-time income, and not just a full-time income, but way beyond what a full-time income would have been in any other options that we went and had. Like, I was jotting down, Melanie, 3 years it took you to replace your income in the Air Force. Year 4, you were making a 6-figure income. Year 5, it doubled. So I really want everyone to wrap their head around this, because everybody, including me, including Melanie, everybody that gets started, including you listening right now, you overestimate what's going to happen in the beginning, and you underestimate what can happen long-term. And most people, they overestimated what they were going to do in the beginning, which their overestimation was just this tiny little thing like, ooh, I'm going to make $1,000 fast. And then you don't make $1,000 fast, and you missed the ability to go make 10 grand a month for years and years and years and years to come. So overestimate what you do in the beginning, but we underestimate what we can do long-term. If it took you 3 years to replace what you were making at your current career, would it be worth it? Like for those of you that are 90 days in, for real. Like, I get it. One of your broke buddies told you this was a scam and it's not going to work. You understand he's broke for a reason, right? Like fast forward 12 months from now, follow back up with your broke buddy. He'll still be broke. He'll still be negative. Your friend, Melanie said it was easier and she enjoys hanging out here than with some of her own family. I can relate to that. I love my family, but a lot of my family doesn't think the way that I do. And they're in different positions because they don't think the same way. And so it's natural. You get around here. You had friends from high school. They're all a bunch of negative Nancy's, Debbie Downers, Johnny Rainclouds. And they're right now, as you're in your first year doing this, they're kind of trying to crap on or act like you think you're too good or whatever else. You understand that they feel that way because they're eking out a maybe average, even below average lifestyle right now. They're sitting at home wanting to do nothing but watch Netflix and play 2K, and you wanting to go do something with your life exposes their laziness and their lack of discipline. So why would your friend that, has been broke with you the last 5 years magically support you when they know they're not willing to put in the work to go change their current situation? Why would they get excited for you? Of course they're going to talk down on it. And then you get around people here that aren't just sitting on their hands watching TikTok all day long. They're actually doing something productive. They haven't already thrown in the towel waiting for 2021. They're doing something right now in 2020. And you just naturally get around people that have goals and dreams. They're talking about where they're going, not just talking about other people. And it's just natural to get, to have close friendships and grow with people that are in our company, because a lot of us think like-minded. So if you're that kind of person that doesn't want to just sit and, drink beer and smoke and, watch TV all day long, and you want to do something with your life, you're going to fit in pretty good over here. And just know stick with it long-term. These are the kinds of stories that can happen. Melanie and I, we didn't have any experience doing stuff like this. I was a broke college student, and she was eking out, trying to climb the corporate ladder, so to speak, in the Air Force. And we looked at this as something that was worth getting good at. So I just really want to get that across, Melanie, because I think of people in the Air Force as the most overworked, underpaid people on the planet. My dad's a civilian, my stepmom's active duty in the Air Force as well. So for all of you guys, I appreciate your service, and across the 455 on here right now, and whoever's listening. But there's so many things we could be doing, but like somebody respects that. Like, oh wow, okay, you're in the Air Force, or I went to school to be a doctor, and everyone's like, oh wow, that's really impressive, David. But like they somehow don't look at network marketing as this like high speed thing. I would tell you guys, I think this is the highest speed thing you could ever go and do. So I don't care if it took you 3 years or 5 years or 10 years to go replace what you're making and turn this to a full-time income or whatever beyond that. I think it's worth it, because this pays you for what you start, and you're not capped out the way almost anything else we ever go and do is. So those are a couple things I was thinking as I'm hearing your story, Melanie.
Yeah, you hit on some really good points. And one, I just want to remember you when you were sharing, I remember seeing your picture on Facebook. I don't know what year it was, but you graduated college as a chiropractor, and your cake for graduation was also your retirement cake. I was like, no, you did not just graduate and retire at the same time. So I'm always inspired by you guys, and you really hit it hard when you said in the beginning, we overestimate and then we underestimate for the long-term outcome. And that is so on point, because, you said it as well, who are we listening to? And the first person that I called was my mom. She's my best friend. I love her to life. And I called her. I was like, you're not going to believe this. We're going to go on vacation. I'm taking you for your birthday. And she laughed at me. She's like, you can't afford it. I was like, no, you have no idea. I'm going to make money through this. I'm super excited. Everything's going to change. And she's like, don't tell me you joined one of those things. And I had never heard that before. I was like, what do you mean one of those things? She's like, Melanie, don't you know you're in the military? You can go to jail for that. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, and it's midnight. You should go to sleep. You have to work tomorrow. So I am so grateful, even though I love my mom so much, for whatever it was, I went with my intuition. I went with my gut. I went with my, you know what, it's a couple $100 at the platinum level. And if I can just give this a shot and see where it goes, I'd rather say that it didn't work than wish that I would have. Because I'll tell you what, people 10 years ago, and they see me today, they wish they would have joined with me 10 years ago. Because now they're seeing it and they're like, oh, she really did it. Oh, okay, maybe I could do it because she did it. Melanie did it. Oh, I could do it, right? I didn't have the credibility, right? I had the best parties at my house. I knew where the parties were. Everyone called me, where we're going tonight. I didn't have the business background. Like David, we just came in and I quickly learned, they said, Melanie, show up and just do what we do. And I followed the people that I were inspired by. I followed Sasha and Governor. I followed the twins. I followed Martin Roth. I followed the Helgesons and, the Peaches and the Grzybowskis, right? They did what I wanted. They have what I want. They're driving the cars. They're living in the house. They have the income, the family. They're traveling the world. That's what I want. And that's what inspired me. And because I can gain the belief in myself in the beginning, it took like 18 months. And it was time after time after time, just going to the events. And all of a sudden, it just dawned on me. When you see the same movie over and over and over again, and every time you see that movie, you see new things, right? It's the same thing here. You may be listening to the same training if you've been around for some time over and over again, but all of a sudden you're like, oh, I never heard that part before. And it just clicks. And for me, what clicked was that lifestyle bonus that was announced in Momentum 2012. I was like, no, I did not get announced or recognized for that achievement. And for me, it was like, I get fired up when someone tells me I can't do something, or someone gives me a challenge, and I want to beat, you know, the stats, and I want to go out there and prove to all those people that said you're crazy, you can't do this, it's not going to work, those things don't happen, you know, all these things. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go show you. One, because I love this company. I love the people. I love what we're about. We're always giving and creating and working together and just always improving and enhancing. And Wayne's vision is not just for 10, 20 years. He's looking out 50, 100 years past him, our founder. So we are in the right spot at the right time, literally now more than ever, because 40 million people have lost their jobs. They need this. They're on their floor praying. And I'm grateful that I said yes 10 years ago, because I didn't have to worry about my life being, you know, sacrificed for whatever the circumstance would have been if I was still, you know, it would probably just been, I would have been in the military 2 more years, I can retire, and that would have been it. But my friend that didn't even think that I would do this shared it with me. And he didn't even think I would get started. And now because I said yes, not only did he rank up, he made more money. You know, being able to pass your sponsor is a fun thing, but when you start passing their sponsors, it gets even more fun. So you have the opportunity to create whatever you choose. And now, because he shared it with me, my life is different. And because I said yes, there's people on our team that are meeting each other, they're having babies, they're creating lives and families and memories, and now they get to move that on to others. So it's not about us, David. It's not about, you know, Nathan or Otis or Nanya or Pam. It's about the message. It's about the message. And we found it. And we have that golden ticket. We found the cookie. Why are we not sharing it? And it's all about, oh, well, what are they going to think about me? Or, you know, how are they going to perceive me? You know what? Call me crazy. I love it when they call me crazy. You know why? Because it's the crazy people that change the world. And I'm about changing the world. I'm about teaching people how to create residual income, because people to this day don't know what that word means. And it's a lack of education in our system. So who's going to rise up? Who's going to stand up and be the educator, be the influencers of the world to help people understand that there's more in life than going to school for 40 years, or going to school, being in debt for 40 years of your life, for 40% of your income, for 40 hours a week. For what? When there's an opportunity that creates the most millionaires in the world, network marketing. Why not give it a shot? Why not just give it a shot, but go all in? And that's when I saw the changes, when I went all in, when I cut my cable, when I told my mom I'm not coming home for the holidays, when I told my family I'll be around next year, because this year I'm grinding, and next year I want to have a job so I can come whenever you call me and I'm on the next flight. That's how serious you should take it. And be selfish for the next 6 months to a year, because how many more people's lives can you change because you made a phone call and said, watch this video?
Well, and that's so interesting you say that, because there's so much of an impact. Like people don't realize, you know, until you've done this for years and years, how much more there really is to this than a specific travel memory or a specific dollar amount people make. And it is cool. I mean, I've seen that the same way within our own, like people meet each other through this club, and all of a sudden, you know, get married, have kids, like that. Not without something like this, they would have never even met each other. And like, you just think of how far reaching the impact is, or, you know, it's crazy too. Like, think of the people, you know, that all of you guys want to reach out to this weekend. Okay. If you don't reach out to them, you may not ever know the impact that they missed out on because you didn't. Like, so many people, they get caught up thinking that when I sign my friend up, that they are somehow like blessing me because they supported me and bought a membership. And sometimes we're hesitant to go reach out to people because we're like thinking that we're somehow taking something from them. No, when you get somebody plugged into this, you are giving the blessing. You are giving something to them that can make an impact in a whole bunch of different areas of their life. So you got to have your understanding that right off the bat. And I loved how she took it this way too. Understand, you can't get caught up in wanting to turn this to a full-time income, but only willing to put that part-time effort in. Like, you can start part-time, and but you have to consistently do it. Like, I see so many people, they can have a good week. or they can have a good month. But I promise you, at some point, you're going to have ups and downs just like any business. And I watch so many people. It's easy to be fired up when it goes like this. What happens when it goes like this a little bit? Like you have to understand that's natural in any business. It's easy to go sign somebody up. What happens when your buddy told you he was going to go kill it and then he sucked his thumb like a little girl and quit the next day? What do you do then? Like you understand, all these things are going to happen naturally. It's okay. You don't need any one person, but understand it's worth the effort and staying consistent to do it. So Melanie talked about she sacrificed holidays or, decided I'm just going to cut my cable completely. She dedicated enough time and did it long enough until it turned into a full-time income. So many of you on this call right now, you are so much closer to turning this to a full-time income than you realize. Like it's almost scary. Some of you are literally one good person away. I don't care if you're brand new, you are 2 good people away from literally creating financial freedom using World Ventures as a vehicle to do so. Now, the problem is you got to go through a bunch of bums before you're going to go find the 1 or 2 ones that actually do it. And I talk to different leaders on my team all the time about this, Melanie. Like, I can't tell you just what's the answer. You got to go put some new people in. If I get anything across to all of you guys on this call right now, the answer is always you lead by example and start a new team. If you're not making a full-time income right now, the people on your team aren't going to get you magically to a full-time income. You need to go add yourself new layers of leaders under the existing team that you have. So the answer is always simple. Start a new team. We just finished a 90-day run, Melanie. I documented out, I think it was 54. Let me double check this real quick. Over the last 90 days, I kept track of the personals Crystal and I got. It was 54 personals in 90 days. We've been in for 9 years. 54 personals in 90 days. Am I telling you that to impress you? No. I'm telling all of you guys that to tell you that putting those 54 personals in was what helped push us over to hit the highest rank in the company. If we just sat and waited, we may have never, well, I look back, it was like 38 personal, I think it was the 90-day run before that. If I would have backed up over the last 6 months and just said, you know what, I'm just going to hope for the best, cross my fingers, and let's see what happens. I've put enough work in, let's see what happens. I don't think we'd be in the same position that we are right now. And I would encourage all of you, if you want to get your business to the next level, you're going to have to go do the same thing again. See, anybody can have success once. But how are you going to continue to add success month after month, year after year? It's you stay consistent and lead by example. Like it's also, as you were talking, Melanie, of like you don't want to be average or common, or like you want to do the uncommon. Do you guys understand how easy it is to not be average? So everybody compares themselves to average, which I've never understood in my life. Do you understand? Average means you are the best of the lousiest, and you're the lousiest of the best. Like, who wants to be compared to that? Like, so I'm average. Okay, well, compared to who? Like, because there's some people that do absolutely nothing. You go and you pick up the phone one time and you can beat half of the people that will never even do one thing. Isn't it funny? You get people signed up and then you never hear from them again. They go into witness protection. It's not that hard to be above that. But at the same time, there's some people absolutely just cranking right now. Don't compare yourself to average. Compare yourself to the person that you want to become. Go surround yourself with the top 5 people you know, and you're going to become number 6. You surround yourself with the 5 average people, you're going to stay right there. And people get stuck year after year or month after month in this business because they don't keep surrounding themselves with the people where they want to go. They surround themselves with the people where they currently are, or they're even surrounding themselves with people who are backwards from where they were, and then they wonder why things don't continue to grow. So find people who have what you want. Do what they do. That's how you eventually have what they have. And again, if you're looking to go and figure out how can I go make World Ventures a full-time income, start surrounding yourself with people who have already done that. Don't surround yourself with the people that haven't got anywhere near the income you're looking to grow. Take and learn and study from those people. Again, you guys are all doing that right now because you're on a call like this. You're looking to grow. You're like, okay, 2 people have made $1 million in World Ventures. Let's hear what the heck that they were doing. Versus listening to, the person that never even got started and they tell you what you should do to be successful. Like, we don't take weight loss advice from our way out of shape friends. Why would we take financial advice from our nowhere near successful friends? Like, you just have to really understand that concept, not only when you get started, but that's still the same as you've been in. Just because somebody's been in for years doesn't mean that's who the person you should listen to in the business. Just because somebody hit a rank a few years ago doesn't mean that's the person you should listen to in the business. I like to watch people who are doing it right here, right now, making things happen, and we follow what they're doing. Just because something worked 10 years ago doesn't mean it's going to work next month. So continue growing, continue to have, and that's what I love with our company, Melanie, is it just, we constantly are evolving. We're constantly perfecting our craft, making things better, continuing to perfect those systems. And it's something, if you continue leading by example and you plug into those systems, you can go and have success with this. And again, Melanie, you're a great example of that the same way.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and you know, you said it. It's really about digging the ditch. You know, you're constantly looking for the people that are going to show up so you can show them the presentation. You're looking for the people that are going to say yes. Then you're looking for the people that go on a trip. Then you're looking for the people that want to make some money, that start going to the events. You're looking for the people that make the calls and start inviting. You're looking for those people that want to become a leader and have their own teams. You're looking for those people that want to be trainers, and then those people that want to be IMDs, and then those people that want to be PAC team members and Knighted trainers. Like, you just keep looking for the right ones. And that's where I go back to saying, like, if you get tired of looking, what else are you going to do? What is it that you want to do? Because you're going to have to dig the ditch somewhere. Why not dig the ditch at a place that's worthwhile digging? And that's what happened for me. And it was at the events. It was, you want to create a full-time income, then your job is to never miss the events. You want to get a degree and post it on your wall and be successful in a career, then your job is to go to school, to test, to take lab works, to study in groups. Like, you're going to do it somewhere. So why not do it where you're passionate about doing it? And when you have those down moments, you know, it's your job to be an adult, to recognize that you're in a down place and understand that it's impossible to be in a positive environment and a negative environment at the same time. It's one or the other. You cannot think at the same time both. So when you are down, you find yourself, okay, I'm down. So what do I do? Where do I go? Who do I call? Your best friend, your mentor, your leadership. You vent up, right? If that's not available, what can you listen to? What music brings you love or joy, you know, that you're going to sing from the rooftops, right? Or even exercising. For me, I found that when I was running and I was building this thing and I wasn't working out, I found myself being a little more depressed because my inside was reflecting on my outside. And when I started taking care of my inside, it started revealing what true love and freedom is on the outside. And that energy just eludes out and attracts more people to me, because people love to be around happy, go-getting people. And if that's not you, you may be an introvert, you know, then you start off with a smile. You start off with a hello, a hi, how are you? You create the conversations. And if they don't respond, it's not because of them, it's not because of you, it's because of them. Just the other day, I was walking out the door and I was like, good morning. The guy didn't say anything. Usually I don't let it bother me, but then I was like, have a great day. And he still didn't say anything. I was like, God bless. Because I did my part. He didn't show up for himself. As an adult, we all go through the same things in life. We're here to connect and help each other. It's just at different points we go through them. David has gone through things in life that I haven't gone through, and vice versa. And when we share that knowledge, guess what? Wisdom comes out of that, and action can take place. And when you take action, your results show up in front of you. And just this last week, you know, I remember when I started doing well in this company, I thought to myself, well, when I make like billions of dollars, what am I going to do with all this money? What organization do I want to help? And years ago, 8 years ago, it was human trafficking. And just 2 weeks ago, I asked my spiritual healer, I was like, I really want to get into human trafficking now. Like now, what can I do now? And she's like, oh, I just got this video. It showed up. She's like, watch this video. And it was this guy that used to be a US agent, now created his own operation to help and save children. Where I was like, okay, I'm going to go find out what's going on. I went to the email. Next thing I know, they're having a demonstration on July 30th, which is now known as World Day Against Human Trafficking. And I was like, okay, I want to volunteer. Where can I go plug in? There was nothing on the East Coast of Florida all the way up to Jacksonville. So I said, okay, well, I want to help out. I'll lead a demonstration. And the night before that, I wrote out my 10, 25, 30, and 1 year goals. And my 10 to 25 year goal is to have a safe haven dance studio for children to come to and feel safe. my 3-year goal is to be a human trafficking warrior. And then my 1-year goal is to be a leader with the organization that I found. And next thing I know, I get an email the next day saying I'm a leader of the demonstration. And it happens. I just took action. The signs were made. People brought shirts. People brought balloons. 18 people showed up because all of a sudden they saw it on Facebook. And what I understood was like, we are more powerful than what we realize. The only thing that's stopping us is our outside environment. What are we listening to on a daily basis? Who are we surrounding ourselves with? What are we bringing in knowledge and, enhancing ourselves with on a consistent basis? And with action, nothing is stopping me now because I eliminated all the distractions, right? So nothing is stopping me except for me other than make a call. Go to a website. How can you contribute? What actions can you do? Because once you take the action, the results will always show up. And it's going to the events. We have the View coming up online. If you don't have your tickets, then you are not stepping up to your life. You're not stepping up to your life. You're not stepping up to the decision that you made when you joined this company. If you're not just stepping up and you don't have your ticket, then you should have a dream trip booked or know when you're going and where you're going. And you should have pictures and telling people about it and sharing stories, of people that have been there. If you don't have your View ticket. And if you're here, over 445 of you guys are here right now, then you're invested in your business, in yourself. So you should have your View ticket. Show some love in the Q&A. Show us that you got your View tickets. Mark, comment in the View, and we'll know who to work with. I literally, after the event, David, I said, we had a team call, and I said, okay, these are the people that I'm working with. These are the people that just bought their View tickets. And I literally showed them the list. There it is right here. And people were like literally telling me like, why is my name not on the list? I was like, well, maybe because there was just so many people coming in. So people want to be on your list. People want to have help from David. They want to have help from me. It's just a matter of picking up the phone and telling us, letting us know what's going on in your life, plugging into the system. When you don't plug your phone in, it dies, right? If you don't update it with the software, you're not in the zone of being where you can produce the most potential for yourself, because you procrastinated or you lacked or you just had distractions or people, telling you that you can't. When someone tells me I can't, I eat them for breakfast. What was the slang that I say? But you guys, David said it as well. 54 personals in 90 days, you're bound to get results. You can't sign up 54 people and not get results. So just go sign up 54 people. It's easier to do nothing. And that's why there's people on the street. They're homeless because they decided to do nothing. Guess what they have? Nothing. It is harder to create. And that's why not everybody lives down the street from me in those $40 million homes, because it's harder to make the decision. It's harder to pick up the phone. But when all you got to do is follow our lead, we did it. We're the proof, military and a student. You guys can do it. It doesn't matter what background, we are here to help you. And I'm excited, for what's to come. Even Marcus is coming on in 10 minutes. I can't wait to hear what he's got to say. And we're pumped. People's lives are being changed. We're saving, our company is still going on dream trips, and we're literally saving restaurants, saving nightclubs, saving hotels, because we're still bringing in our loyal customers, our people that want to be together, that are like, we have to, the events are not going on, well, except for virtually, well, we're still meeting up. We're still going to meet up and link up, because they are the need for people is a requirement for living. I remember listening to a study of, where they just would not give attention to babies and they would not survive. Their health would decline. So we are here in this world to connect with each other. And I absolutely love you, David. I'm so appreciative of you and what you have created and how many people you're helping. And I absolutely love, our company, and I give all the glory to God, of course, first, for everything that we have before us.
Melanie, you are a rock star. Man, so many good things. So yeah, Melanie just had reminded me too. So our director of training, Mr. Marcusetta, the person that runs our entire national training events, I believe it's on Facebook Live, right? So it's Marcaccetta. Well, he's gonna yell at me if I butchered that last name. Marcusetta. You go find it with Mark with a C. I believe he's doing a Facebook Live here. It's starting at the top of the hour. As we close out, I want to point two things out. Melanie hit perfectly, and thank you so much again for coming on. This hour flew by. One, you have to, so if you're looking to get help from people that are winning, we've made this clear multiple times. You should get yourself around the people that have what you want and do what they do so you can have what they have. If you're looking to get that help, that support, get plugged in, get that mentorship, lead by example, okay? And understand that the people who have what you want, they work where they're deserved, not where they're needed. Okay, so I promise you, no matter where you're at in the company, in your uplines organization, you go put enough effort in, they're going to take notice. But raise your hand. I'm the guy that's willing. I'm the girl that's willing to do whatever it takes. I'm the one that's going to sit here and put the consistent effort in. And I promise you, there are people that have a financial interest in helping you. Even one big team as World Ventures as a whole, you have people that are willing to help you make this happen, but you need to put the work in. It's not, hey, I really want a mentor. Will you mentor me? No, mentors aren't asked for, they're earned. So put that work in and do your part to get the people that can help you get to the next level to take notice and go and help do that. And the other thing I really want to point out as we kind of wrap this call up, Melanie said at the beginning, in 1 year, she paid $10,000 just in 1 year towards her personal development. Would you pay $10,000 to grow yourself to make $1 million in the next 10 years? Like, I really want you to ask yourself that. Would you pay 10 grand 1 year to make $1 million? If so, you have to understand you need to treat World Ventures like a real business. See, if you treat this like a hobby, it's going to pay you hobby money. You treat it like a business, it can pay you some big international business money. But you have to treat it like that. And that starts with your overhead is almost nothing here. What we pay $25 a month to be a rep in World Ventures. We don't have brick and mortar stores. We don't have any of this kind of stuff. So where does your overhead go? You got to work on you. See, Dr. Peach taught me this a long time ago, Melanie. If people aren't signing up with you, it's not on them that they didn't necessarily like it. It's that they didn't want to follow you. So understand, the people that tell us no, somebody else in the world could call them and they would have signed up with them. So if I can't get my buddy, why was Michael Jordan or Oprah or Denzel Washington or whoever you would think of as someone successful or wealthy? Why could they call your same friend and sign them up? But when you call them, they don't answer the phone or they don't show up. We have to work on us. And if you take that ownership, if it is to be, it's up to me, you start to work on you. Like we can teach you how to invite. We can teach you how to close. We can teach you how to present. But you need to work on the inviter. You need to work on the presenter. You need to work on the closer. And you become the leader that it's going to take to help have other people follow. I mean, how are you going to build a team of tens of thousands of people if you're only at a leadership capability of having a couple people follow you? So you grow your own skill set and you can go and make a bigger impact in others. People follow people that know where they're going. They follow strength, not weakness. So I would advise everybody on here, if you want to really be successful with this, be that person of certainty in a time of uncertainty. Isn't it funny right now? Marcus said is going to talk about this on this call because I heard the preview video.
The call starts actually at an hour, so we have some more time.
Oh, it's in an hour. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, so 1 hour on Facebook Live. But what I can tell you said in the preview video, which applies perfectly to what we're talking as we kind of wrap this up, Melanie, is right now, in this time of uncertainty, we're going to have the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of the world. The rich are going to get richer and the poor are going to get poorer. And it's not necessarily because of where they're already at. It's understanding in times of uncertainty, there are also times of opportunity. Why right now are there people on our team that are winning bigger than anywhere else in the world, and other people are sitting there going, what the heck just happened? There's people that are making things happen. There's people complaining about things happen, talking about things happen, and people going, what the heck just happened? Be the person that's taking action. And I guess as we close out here, Melanie, we've got like 3-4 minutes left. Here's what I'd love for you to talk to. Again, well over 400 people on here, a whole bunch going to listen to this replay. I want you to talk to the maybe this is 2% or less. I like to do this a lot of these different weeks. The person that really is going to put the effort in, the person that's not going to be average, the person that really is going to, as long as it takes, as much as it takes, is going to do what it takes to go and turn this to a full-time income. What would you say to that person right
I would say that just stay consistent and think with the end in mind. Work. What is your ultimate goal? What is it that you truly want? And ask yourself, if you had all the time, all the money in the world, where would you be? What would it look like? Feel like you're in that place. Breathe it and envision it and walk in it and live in it. I have dreams down the street to live on the beach. I'm walking down my 30 stairs case right into the sand, watching the sunrise in the, from the ocean. And I imagine my husband, with the nanny and the children getting breakfast ready. And I visualize all that. And I'll tell you, it's very powerful to know that we are creators. We are a direct image of God, and God created. He created us in his image. So what are we capable of? It's even been scientifically known that we don't even use majority of our brain. So why not use what the potential is that we have? We're teaching it to you. All you have to do is be coachable, be a pleasure to work with, and have fun. If you're not having fun, then you're doing it wrong. If you're not building if your dreams aren't as big enough where people tell you you're crazy, then your dreaming is not big enough. Your dream is too small. Let people know that it's the crazy people that change the world, and don't let any distractions come in your way from you achieving your dream, because I promise you this, we're all gonna leave this earth one day. And it's a matter of you accomplishing what you came here to do, or you don't. And you imagine yourself at the end of your road, the end of your journey. Can you look back and think you did everything in life that you wanted to do? And I tell my assistant, I tell my family, I tell my friends, I tell my team every day, if I were to die and leave tomorrow, I am completely satisfied where I've become up to today. And my assistant knows, take everything that I have and go share it with the world, because it's possible. It's very possible. It's not because David and I have been in, for 10 years. It's because we made the decision. Because there's people in that have been in 10 years and they're not where we are today. There's people that have been in less than we are and they have surpassed us. I walked stage as a national marketing director in 2015 with a gentleman today who is 26, living in a third world country, who has reached the highest level 4 times. So what's the difference between him and me in the last 4 years? He took way more action than I did. That is it. That is it. I got comfortable. So get uncomfortable and get used to getting uncomfortable, because being uncomfortable is growth in your life. Being uncomfortable is the next level that you are dreaming to go. So embrace the struggle. I bring on the struggle. I bring on the challenges, because I know that in my life, it's going to take me to my next level. It's going to take me to where I need to be to lead more people to the understanding that we can make dreams a reality. And it's just a matter of you deciding that you're worthy. So thank you, David. Thank you again, God, for this opportunity. I love you guys all.
Thanks again, Melanie. I appreciate everyone jumping on. If you want the recording of this, you can go to my YouTube channel, David Helgeson. We're also going to get it in most of the Facebook groups. So the recording will get posted here in the next hour. Appreciate everyone jumping on. We'll see you next week. God bless.